Hey everyone, Anthony Viduto here with InTouch Mortgage Solutions. It's Friday, Finance Fridays. Hope everyone's doing well, staying safe. On this episode, I want to talk about appraisals and whether you're purchasing or you're refinancing or simply looking to take out equity from your home, whatever the product is, most likely your bank's going to want an appraisal. So let's talk a little bit more. Let's go inside. Appraisals are an important part of the actual mortgage transaction. Whether you're purchasing or you're refinancing or you're looking to get a line of credit against your home, more than likely the bank's going to want to have an appraisal in one shape, way, or form. So what are those shapes and forms? So generally speaking, most banks right now, when you're purchasing a home, whether you be maybe insured or you're buying in a conventional process with 20% or more down, most of the banks have automated systems that generate values for you and for them to make sure that, hey, the property that you're buying is the price that you paid, is the price that they're going to be lending you. If for whatever reason the purchase price and the valuation that the system populates don't align, then the bank will come back to us, the broker, and say, listen, we need to get a physical appraisal done on the property, or we need to get an automated one through our channel, through a different provider, to make sure that the value is there. So with the pandemic, and obviously with the questionable people, don't want people coming in and out of your home, they've adapted to different policies. Some of the appraisal companies may allow, and some of the banks may allow the actual homeowner to take pictures of the home. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll use the listing photos if required, instead of having someone come into the home. But it all depends on the lender's requirements, right? So this is the key. Is some banks will say, no, we don't want that. Some banks will say, no, we need someone to go out physically to the property, enter the premises. If you're purchasing, they'll reach out to the listing agent, or they may list out to the buyer agent, depending on who the contact is to arrange that access. But it will get done. They are the eyes and ears. An appraisal is the eyes and ears of the lender. What they're looking for is, if for whatever reason the values don't jive, now they're going to send someone in. They're going to be taking pictures of the rooms and making sure that everything is up to par. Now, that's not to say just because the values don't line. Sometimes if the home is a little bit older, if the home has some specific characteristics, it's unique, they may want to see in a physical appraisal. If the property is deemed a rental, if you're renting it out, they may require an appraisal more than likely. Obviously, it depends on the lender that you're working. If you're working with an equity lender, most equity lenders will require a physical appraisal. Although some of the banks now are actually changing, so they're all going into this automated system. But the appraisal is always the eyes and ears of the lender. It is for the bank's eyes only. We always get, hey, can I get a copy of the appraisal? Listen, at the end of the day, we can have a conversation about the appraisal. We will give you most of the time when we get back the appraisal, depending if it's automated or if it's physical, it will say price accepted, and that's it. It'll just say, yeah, whatever they paid, we accept that price. If it's a physical appraisal, we can spit out the amount that we can tell you, what we see. Now, being in this industry, we see thousands of homes, right? We see appraisals on thousands of homes. And if I had to give everybody in this video some tips, especially if you're refinancing your home and you need to get an appraisal, or there's a potential that you may need to get appraisal, we always say, try to declutter your home. Fix any damage that's done to the home. If there's a repair that's in the mix, like there's walls that are torn down, anything that would be perceived as unfinished or something that may not be proper, especially if you're trying to refinance and getting top dollar or trying to get top equity out, make sure that those things are taken care of. Always talk to a mortgage professional who work with their clients. We'll ask them to take pictures and send it to us and say, hey, maybe fix this, maybe do this. Try to get that extra, squeak out that little bit extra value. If you're purchasing a home, then keep this in mind when you're going through the home as well, is how the home presents itself, right? Because someone else has to come to the home and give it a valuation. So that's why we say to our clients, when you're walking through the home, try to keep, don't turn off your blinders, look at the home after what it's worth, because someone will have to appraise that house. And if, I understand if you're going in there and there's you need to fix it, the lender will perceive it, especially when we look at the MLS listing. So you as a consumer, let's say you're going through, whether it be House Sigma or Zolo, whatever it is that you're looking to, your home's realestate.ca, look at the listing. What does it say in there, right? Because, that verbiage can play a very important role in the actual appraisal process, as well as the lender's ability to want to approve the deal. So that's an appraisal in general. Now, as I said, those are things that no matter what happens, whether it be a desktop, whether it be an automated appraisal, a physical appraisal, some form of valuation to determine the loan to value, the amount of money the home is worth to the loan that they're giving you and what you're putting down. The banks will require that at any given time for any specific transaction. And sometimes, yes, there's things that say no appraisal required. Well, that's because no appraisal required because the person that's lending you the money is doing the appraisal. But there is always an evaluation and a physical, someone maybe looking at the property or taking a drive-by if they have the time. Banks generally don't do that. That's why they hire an appraisal. But let's say you're going to the private space, there's someone may drive by just to take a look to make sure that that property is physically there. But that is something that you cannot escape, unfortunately, in the industry. Now, there are ways to save some money. Working with InTouch Mortgage Solutions, we work with our clients to either cover the cost for the appraisal or reimburse them for the appraisal cost, depending on the type of transaction that we're doing. We want to help our clients out as well. And we'll give you that added value on how to position yourself when you're going through the process of buying or refinancing, and just going through that whole process and what we can experience, because we have systems on our end that we use to help determine values and see exactly what's happening. We have tools and tricks. And speaking of tools and tips and tricks that we can help our clients with, we want you to download our app. It's in my bio here on Instagram. So please feel free to download it. It does have a refinance calculator. It does have all kinds of cool mortgage tools. And I want to leave it at that. Have a great Friday and enjoy.